Well, good morning, everybody. A huge thank you for being here. This year is very special because we are at Schneider Electric. So again, a huge thank you for hosting us. And Schneider Electric is not alone. We have multiple sponsors and partners. We have PPS, and thank you so much for being here, Kevin.
Thank you, Fabien.
We have Synchron, Andrea, Surat, Kevin. A huge thank you. Oh, you are the bad students, you know, you are in the back of the room.
It's cool.
Don't try to hide.
If you want to have fun, come here.
And of course, we have BCG. So again, thank you. I hope you all grabbed your book. We have a bunch of books outside, so feel free to use it. Again, a huge thank you for all those copies. I've read the book. I'm a good student, and it's an amazing book. So really, I really suggest that you grab the book. Kevin, do you want to kick off the 2024 Annual Summit?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Fabien. And a very special thank you to our host from Schneider Electric, to Paula and her teams here. And also a special congratulations to Fabien Cros from Google here in France, and Stephan Liozu, who's a citizen of Earth and all surrounding planets. And for me, this is a very special event because, first of all, last year at this event, we had a wonderful kickoff. And I'm very excited to see the growth in the event here. So very nicely done to Stephan, to Fabien, and to all of us here for joining. But also, I think that we as pricing people are uniquely qualified. I was having this discussion with a few people earlier today. We are uniquely qualified to address the overlap between ESG, sustainability, ventures that are good for the planet, but also ways to also be good business people as well. So very excited about the day's events today. And we are going to have a wonderful day. So Fabien and Stephan and Paula and teams, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so we wanted to start with one number. Who knows what this number is? And sorry, I'm not started with the great news, just spoiler alert. Anyone in the room? Minus 21%? No? Well, that's actually the decline of the secondary material consumed, which is actually the decline of the circular economy globally. And it's minus 21% for the past 5 years. So there is a lot of explanation behind that, especially new countries emerging. So of course, they are extracting a lot of raw materials. But even if there is an explanation, I think we need to do something because there is urgency. I continue with the bad news. There is urgency.
Warming up the room here.
Just making sure you will pay attention. No, but 2023 was the warmest year ever. We have clear example of that. I mean, we took a map of France. We could pick any country in the world. And I think every continent got huge fire this year. So again, the message is we need to do something collectively. We have a responsibility for the next generation. And that's why we're here. But what we believe with Stephan is, and we share that with a bunch of businesses and organization, it's like sustainability is a big business opportunity. And not just being a business opportunity, if we want to scale sustainability, the best way and the fastest way will be actually to mix business with sustainability. If we believe that we will do that through charity, it will take way too long to make a difference. We have actually a very nice diagram from BCG as well, explaining that same concept. Yes, you can continue to do CSR, but I think what will make a difference will be really to integrate sustainability into your core business. And that's where we will scale sustainability. We will create new value pockets and new revenue for companies so we can create this virtuous circle around sustainability. And it's already started. And we have a nice study from NYU Stern saying they studied CPG, and actually they have a very nice number. It's 1/3 of the growth is coming from sustainable products, even if the market share of those products is roughly one-fifth of the market. So again, if you are not convinced by the first slide, be convinced by this slide. There is a business opportunity for sure. And that's why we're here today, to really explain how we can mix business with sustainability and how we can create economical growth for company through sustainability. In case you don't know us yet, so I'm Fabien. I'm wearing two caps. I co-founded with Stephan Pricing for the Planet, and because I have a lot of free time, I'm also working at Google on all the data and AI topics for manufacturing.
You're not going to introduce me?
We have the wonderful Stephan, and I think you pay attention to his red shoes,
so
because that's important.
This is a distraction. If if I don't do a good job, then you can just like stare at my clown shoes. But yeah, happy to be here. I pretty much live and breathe for value-based pricing. I have other hobbies, but and really I started paying attention to sustainability when I met Fabien a couple of years ago and say, well, how do we not repeat what happened in digital transformations and spend all these billions and trillions of dollars with very little impact at the end, or calculated impact, and how do we make this a mainstream subject so that we speak the language of the CFOs? I mean, let's be very clear, because the CFOs have the purse, and if we manage to speak the language of business, then maybe there is going to be a better chance for us to make a difference and scale faster without spending the trillions that may not lead to a great impact. So happy to be here. This is our second year, and the crowd is growing, but this is more of a movement than trying to commercialize anything. It's just we need to kind of get everybody excited about this. 100 people at a time. So welcome.
And a couple of good news, because we won't do only bad news. A huge thank you for everybody here and everybody who helped us grow. In 2023, we just wanted to kind of celebrate. We became a B Corp. We created our books. We sold roughly 300 books. So we are far from John and BCG, but we are making progress.
It's huge. And I promise it's not 250 to Thales. Which is usually my number one customers for book.
We also, and as Stephan mentioned, I think we are all about education and conveying messages. So we created a podcast, we created a YouTube channel, we created a TikTok account, so you can follow us. We have our bi-weekly digest as well, which is a newsletter. So again, a huge thank you for helping us, a huge thank you for supporting us in this journey.
So just a message on the digest. Every day you probably have 2,000 papers that come out. It's a hot topic right now. What we do is we gather all these papers around the connection between business and sustainability, and we put that in the digest so you don't have to search for them or you don't have to miss them. So subscribe to it, because we really provide some, the essential papers that you need to read as, if you're at the intersection of business and sustainability. Is quite a good resource to have.
And for 2024, we have multiple projects. So I think I will let you talk about the books, because...
Yes, so we're going to do a follow-up to the first book. It's going to be more on the business side of sustainability, around competitive advantage, strategy, still pricing and value, but a little bit more generic. And as you know, these are not our book. If you want to write something for us, do a contribution, a case study, or some ideas, send them in, because again, it's a project, it's a movement. So, and that was the case last year already. This is a collection of papers from academia, from practitioners. So Michelin participated with a conjoint project. Yeah. We have a paper on 10 business models you need to know about in sustainability. So, and then John, he's going to join us on the next one. He doesn't know yet, but he knows now.
Yeah, and the next big milestone will be the Pricing for the Planet week. So it will come after the summer, and same concept. So it's a collaborative effort. So if you want to join, the idea is to have for a full week, every day, webinars, events, discussion about monetizing sustainability. So again, feel free to reach out again after the summer, and the goal is to continue this journey collectively.
So that will be a virtual, right? Digital around the world. We're going to try to do LinkedIn Live, local panels, try to kind of stimulate and hopefully do a lot of disruptive topics. So make it interesting. So if you want to join us, you want to do something with us, please raise your hand and we'll work with you.
And our latest kind of big project is the launch, and today is actually the launch of our learning platform, the Pricing for the Planet learning platform. That's kind of like a summary of what we discovered with Stephan through those past 2 and 3 years. So we said, there is way too much going on. We wanted to kind of summarize what's happening. We wanted to give you the opportunity to learn from all the work that we are doing, all the people that we are meeting. So it will be a mix of like online courses, podcast. I know we'll do a podcast with Pierre soon. So you will see we'll have a lot of like guest speakers. We did a podcast with Kevin. So the idea is to really combine everything into one platform so it's easy for you to access information, to learn what we call the 21st century concept. What we've seen for the past 2 years, we are still using a lot of 19th century concept, like for example, markup, cost plus pricing. And we are discovering a lot of 21st century concept like ROSI, like shared value, for example. So we are collecting, documenting all those 21st century concepts. And of course, we are, I was obliged to put AI into this platform. Sorry about that. So we are actually quite happy because at the end of every module, you have what we call a Pricing for the Planet AI tutor. So it's a machine that will help you actually really write and put you in the shoes of something realistic. So for example, here you have to pitch sustainability to ExxonMobil or the equivalent of ExxonMobil. So it's a big task. It's a big task. But I think it will oblige you to kind of like really think through what you've learned, put you in a real situation, and the machine actually will give you constructive feedback, will explain what works, what's not working, how to be better, and that way, with the machine, you will be able to accelerate even faster your learning path.
That's where you go, ooh.
So again, a huge thank you. You can join us. We will share the slides. So we prepare like a special coupon for you to join if you're interested. If you want to share that with anyone you know, please feel free to do so. And this, okay, so you have to explain this.
We had an argument here because he wanted to put the American "We Need You," right? But there is actually a French superhero called Super Dupont, right? If you don't know about Super Dupont, you have to buy the comics. But we need you the French way, right? So we're in France, so please join us in the community. This is how I dress up every year in Halloween. I dress up as Super Dupont with my Citroën 2 chevaux. Go around Phoenix, Arizona, and creating trouble. So,
all right.
That's me. All right, cool.
You have
all right.
the big task of kicking that off.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Stephan.
Nope, not this one. All right, so 1 year later, last year I showed that slide already, and we're still struggling a little bit with that hype effect, right? And you see especially that in the US right now, which is a very complicated situation, where lots of states, lots of politicians, call that a hype, right? The shiny object of the decade. We went from data to digital transformation, now sustainability, there's going to be something else. So don't invest in it, right? Actually, you could argue they have a point, right? Because we go through these hype cycles, and right now the money went a little bit away from digital transformation to sustainability transformation. Not only because it's a business opportunity, because there is regulation, and you have to play the game, and you have to be in the game with compliance. So I go back to this. For me, is what did we learn from the last wave of huge investment? 10 years ago, we started all looking at digital transformation as a next big frontier. But at the end of the day, not everything worked in the realm of digital transformation. And what did we learn is really, again, culture eats strategy for breakfast. You could do all you want, but at the end, it's a cultural transformation. First of all, it's always going to be a cultural transformation. So when we do ESG and sustainability transformation, it's the same. If you don't, attack the culture in a way, get under the skin of people, convince them to do the work, it's going to be the check the mark type of activity. And as soon as the next wave comes in, then we'll move to something else. It will not be embedded in the DNA of firms. And the other very connected topic is it's also a business transformation. And that's a big issue right now. So I do quite a bit of writing in Industry Week and the Decarbonization Network, where I try to put these topics of it's first and foremost a business transformation. It has to be. Now, obviously, there are huge components of technology and cost reductions and waste reduction and all that stuff. It's part of the process. But if you look at the big categories of benefits, besides compliance and internal benefits, there is also an opportunity for competitive advantage, for differentiation, for customer value, besides stakeholder value and shareholder value. What are we doing today that will bring value to the customer in the area of sustainability? Right? So we are applying, in essence, the same concepts of value-based pricing, of pricing optimization, of customer value propositions to the area of sustainability. So it's not new as far as methodology and process, and the toolbox is almost the same. So other topic, obviously, do we embed sustainability? Do we have a separate organization for sustainability with a CSO, or like we had the CDO, right? Right now the fastest growing function is sustainability and the CSO. Most of the Fortune 500 has a chief sustainability officer. Do we need a CSO? It's a big topic, right? Or should a chief marketing officer be in charge of sustainability from the business side? Now, there's always going to be, obviously, the technical, the operations, manufacturing side. But where do you put sustainability is a topic, because it was a huge topic in digital transformation, where these companies had these incubators and these divisions, like the GE Digital, which didn't work the best, and was fighting with the core business for turf, for resources, and these separate divisions told the core business what to do, and obviously the core business didn't take it very well, and that led to what we know, right? This is obviously a topic where we need to productize and monetize from the get-go. That's why we're here. So right now, it's a good time to look at the foundation of sustainability. Can we put some components of monetization and productization? Can we turn these external programs into something we can sell? Whether we justify a premium, whether we bundle it with a product or a system, or whether we sell it as a standalone offers to our price buyers. Because as you know, the price buyers never want to pay for anything. So now they can buy some, sustainability consulting, some, training and AI and engine, some carbon calculator tools, et cetera, et cetera. If you have deep expertise in sustainability and your customer need it, because frankly today a lot of companies need help, especially the laggards, the companies that just got started, and you're supplying to them and you do things very well, there is a chance to differentiate yourself. And the point is, if you can, monetize it and get something out of it. So it's a marathon, and then obviously we can't boil the ocean. You may have today 200, 400 sustainability initiatives, and you got to go through the prioritization process and finding the one that are external, bring value, and are monetizable, which in essence might be 5 or 10 out of 400. But it doesn't matter, because what we want to do is the work on the 5 or 10 very well, productize, monetize, commercialize, train the salespeople, and the rest might be maybe 70% might be internal cost reduction. Great, we need those as well. So a lot to learn from the last 10 years. If you look at the IDC numbers, we're talking double-digit trillions invested in digital transformation. We'll only take 10% of that, right, for sustainability. But can we do it in a way that we speak the language of the CFO, we show impact and ROI, and we go out in the market with brochures, value calculator, carbon calculators that the customers look at this and say, wow, this is great. I'm going to buy them, or I'm going to accept paying a premium for you. That's the whole philosophy of what we're doing. So the same slides as last year. What drives sustainability for your company or for you in general? Well, it could be compliance and internal benefits, but can that be a competitive advantage? That's why we named this year, the theme of this event is competitive advantage, turning that into differentiation. And there are more and more papers discussing this topic today. So I encourage you to find them. If you need them, we have them because we download everything. But we're here really to design our programs so it's embedded. It's not something separate. It's in the strategy, right? So you look at BA Glass, where is Nuno is Director of Sustainability for BA Glass. It's in the strategy, not outside, something that we work on, an initiative. It's everywhere. And you read about this company on the web, on social media, everything they talk about is sustainable glass, being a great provider of glass versus paper versus plastic. It's in their DNA, which is that means it's a structuring dimension of your strategy. It's not an afterthought. It's something that's structuring across your division, across your corporate initiatives. And I argue that then when you go fight for funds or attention or R&D resources, it should be part of the innovation pipeline. And you should be able to justify your sustainability investment the same as you would justify a cloud investment or product development investment or new technology investment. You fight on your own merit. And when you do this, then you're in the corporate process and you are respected because you fight against, quote unquote, fight for funds and resources. And they don't see you as, well, here's sustainability again. They're going to take a lion's share of the funds, and I cannot get funds for XYZ. So it's part of the corporate process for innovation. Obviously, it's a team sport, right? So Sustainability Council should have representatives from sales, BD, marketing, product development, right? And not just operations, supply chain, technical stuff, HSE. It should be a corporate council that really brings the two sides, the ESG and the go-to-market. So what we're doing here is we're the bridge of these two blocks. Pricing teams will be doing it if you're in charge of pricing, marketing, professionals. But what about sales leaders? There is a great study from Implement Consulting Group that showed that about 50% of salespeople never got trained on sustainability. They don't know how to sell it. So you do all you want at the corporate level. At the end of the day, they're in front of customers making Chinese shadows. Oh, look, we're green. We have labels, right? We have product. They don't know what. And if you're in front of a very technical buyer, someone who's very sophisticated, you're going to be in trouble. So some of the, yesterday I got in trouble for this slide. Some people argue, well, is IKEA really a top, so ChatGPT gave me the answer. Who are the champions? Here they are, right? Don't argue with me. It's, I trust ChatGPT. Gemini, you mean. Okay. But you know these names, right? And Schneider is here so within their categories, they are leaders, right? So BA Glass is third year in a row, glass is the most sustainable company in the glass industry. Are they the same as Patagonia? For sure not, right? It's a different business. The same as IKEA, you could argue IKEA, blah, 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 but at the end of the day, you look at the annual report and sustainability report of IKEA, they are phenomenal, right? In their space, they're leaders. And size doesn't matter, right? Whether you're small, medium, or large, consulting or not, you could become a B Corp, you could do things, you're going to have to spend a little money. Fabien and I, the person who developed the B Corp business model is awesome. Right?
And rich.
Rich, yeah. So then we designed this matrix where you have the sustainability maturity and the monetization maturity. right? Obviously, here is not a good place to be, especially if you're in Europe and you have a certain size from the US selling into Europe, right? So you don't want to be here, the greenwashing, where you do all that fancy marketing, green premium, but you're really not doing much in sustainability, really. You're just creating a story. And right now, by the way, the lawsuits are popping right and left. Companies are getting sued by shareholders, customer groups, consumer groups, you name it. Banks, airlines, Nike, everybody's getting their share of love right now. So here is the place to be, and slowly being a leader moving into, hey, now we're monetizing. Monetizing is not just pricing. Monetizing is extracting revenue and profit from an asset, which means you need to know the assets you're working on. What are my sustainability assets? Training programs, calculators, carbon consulting, all that stuff. Scope 3 support for customers, because frankly, we're just starting Scope 3. So you have your programs, and out of these 400, you find a 10 or 20 you can monetize. And the sequence is I tangibilize, I productize, I monetize, I commercialize. The big topic is tangibilizing. Great word, tangibilization. That's a mouthful. How do I make sure it's very concrete for my customer? What I do is not fuzzy, right? They receive a brochure, they have online, online. They have something they can download. They receive a calculator, so it's actually very concrete. So obviously, we developed an assessment, and I would like to send it to you. And if you can take it, so you have it for your information, you could plot yourself on the. So it's 25 questions on each side, 1 to 4 scale. If you want it and take it, I'd like to be able to get a general assessment and publish a paper on it. We like to publish. The more we publish out there, the better we promote the message overall about the need for monetization. So you know where to find us. We can send you the Excel. Eventually, we're going to put it on our website. But that's a techie guy that does this. I'm too old for that stuff, so we rely on Fabien for that. So then think about maturity, right? And now we're adding the creation of value on top. So we were discussing yesterday with Pierre. So here we have that's design and execution. So obviously you don't want to be here. Some maybe in the US, some states are actually suing companies for reporting ESG, which is unique, I would say. You have to be here. You have no choice. Europe, California, some big countries in the Nordics, and maybe some Asian countries. So, and you move up here, and as you move up, you start looking at internal benefits, right? I'm going to save money through better waste management, through resource management, but also hiring and retaining people. Big savings there, if you look at the publications. And then that's where it gets complicated, right? In the maturity curve, this is where we're moving into where the champions are. Creating value, capturing value for everyone, customers, stakeholders, employees. So you'll see many companies in there claiming that they're in there. The difference here is are they executing it? Are they good at it? So we can claim all you want, but are you actually executing things for your employee, your customers, your stakeholders? That takes a while. This is why it's called a maturity model, and that's why it's a journey. And that's it for me. That was my introduction. I hope you get it. I hope you can help us, send the message out there. There's a great paper now in HBR being published, and one of them is called "You Need to Learn How to Speak the Language of Your CFO When It Comes to Sustainability." These are the people we need to convince. And the way to do this is impact, ROI, benefits, all that stuff, right? Premium, better funding, right? Access to green funding. So thank you for the attention. And I'm calling, what are we? John. All right.